Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to another episode of Get the Belt podcast, home of Melanin Magnificence and Kingdom of Belts, where any motherfucker can get it. That's right, I'm your host Miles. Welcome, thank you for joining us. And I'm joined by a special guest this week. Introduce yourself, Phil.
I'm Phil Samba.
What is good, Phil? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Why are you tired?
Life. I live in the UK. I'm a black gay man.
Yeah.
We're in a recession.
We was just talking
British
about
government.
We were just talking about that recession. Shit. But you good though? It's nice to have you on.
Overall, I'm doing really well. I can't complain.
Thank you for jumping on so last minute. So I had a bit of a nightmare with this episode trying to source a guest. I was reaching out to some people that said that they would help me. But you know what? Let's save the belt to later. Because it comes later on in the show, honey. But thank you, Phil, for coming on. Obviously, it is March and it's National Women's Day on Thursday, so the day after this episode drops. So I did want someone with a pussy, or at least someone that identifies as a woman. And Phil, unfortunately, you don't identify as either of those, even though I feel like you've been inside many.
Absolutely not.
Many pussies, at least.
Pussies,
many boy
maybe,
pussies.
Yes.
But thanks for coming on. So, like, let the people know what you do. You do stuff in sexual health.
Yeah. So I work in HIV and sexual health, and I for a really long time I was doing a lot of work around queer men of color. That was like the core of my work. But I guess my work is involved into broader parts of health, especially around Black people's health.
Yeah.
So yeah, I research, I write, I make campaigns, I do also.
I remember seeing some of your campaigns back in the day when one used to go out, pre-pandemic, honey.
When we were young and in our 20s.
Young, free and single and all that.
Good times, yeah.
Used to see you in GAY and GAY Late on the posters them.
Yeah, interestingly enough, actually, there was one time where I was trying to get into, I think it was just GAY, the bar. And I think we were just pre-drinking to go somewhere else or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't let me in. And there was posters of me in the establishment, but the security guard wouldn't let me in because it was apparently... It was that whole thing of, you know, when you come across too masculine in like a white gay space, and then it's like, do you know what kind of place this is? And I'm like, yeah. There's pictures of me on the walls.
You come across too masculine in a white gay space.
Yeah, as a black person, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah. I was thinking what, but yeah, that makes sense.
Because I think it's this whole thing of like, they think that you're like either deal or you're not comfortable in your sexuality because of all the I guess the tropes around being black and queer. Mm-hmm. But just because you present more masculine doesn't mean you deserve not to be able to go to a space like that. But I mean, it was years ago, and it was around the time that Campaign was out. So I mean, I'm not in those kinds of establishments anymore these days.
As in, you're not going to GAY.
I mean, I will go to GAY because it's cheap, but it's not like my port of call. Like, you know, places like Heaven are like there's a bunch of places. Not even the black
room.
The black room, yeah, but like Heaven, I think I went like just before the pandemic started, and we went once because someone was visiting. And I've been twice in 4 years.
Okay.
It's wild, actually, in hindsight. We used to be there every Saturday.
Every Saturday? Was that you?
For a period in like 2016, 17, yeah. For a period, yeah.
I definitely used to go there more than I do now. I think in the last like 2 years, I've been there maybe like 4 or 5 times. And that's quite high, but that was because I was in the gay pantomime that I was doing at the Charing Cross Theatre, which is literally opposite. Yeah. So I ended up venturing to there like twice or 3 times whilst I was doing that show. But where would you say you go now in London? Obviously, we've got like Jungle Kitty now, Pussy Palace, Connection Party. Where? I'm
in Urban World. You forgot about Urban World. That's the main one. Like,
not me even forgetting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Juice hasn't been on for a while, but Juice, I love Juice.
That's the one in Central London, right?
It can be. It moves, but I like that one. And then there's one other one I'm thinking of. I can't remember. Booty, obviously.
I've not been to Bootylicious in a long time. I sweat at Booty.
I think, yeah, I mean, because it's tiny. I think
No, because you got niggas on the side that aren't sweating. That are just standing there.
Where?
That on the sides of the wall that are just stood there with their cup like this. And then you got niggas like me in the middle. Sweating with my top off, round my waist, vest on.
Do you remember that time we went, though? Years ago. I was very drunk.
I feel like we probably saw each other a few times. And I always turn up because it would have been on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I would have done my show, 2 shows. So the metabolism's fast. And I've probably drank at my theatre on the way to Booty and then shotted tequila.
Oh my God.
When I get there. So I was always fake.
Yeah, I remember being really drunk, and then I think I woke up to someone saying, "Oh, you're a really good dancer." And I was like, I don't remember anything from that night. I don't remember a damn thing. But how old are you again? Like, not to put you on the spot.
I don't mind. I'm 32.
Okay, I'm 33. I'm 34 at the end of this month, and I feel like it's very different now going out. I feel like we're in that middle space where we're not young, but we're not old,
But we're not old.
So when you do go out, like there's a
Yeah.
lot of like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds that
Yeah.
have very literally just found dick, and like they're just out and all excitable and all this, and it's interesting being that kind of age and
Yeah.
going to a club.
Yeah, I always remember thinking like when I get older, like I'm not going to be that guy that's still at the club. But I've come to the realization I will be that guy.
Or you
just
are
not
that guy.
I am that guy. I am that guy. I mean, I'm not in my 40s yet, please. Yeah, but I'm not good. I will be that guy, but just not frequently, and it's not going to be there to like be predator. Like
Yeah,
a lot of the kind of guys that you see out that are like older generally tend to probably be by themselves.
Yeah, there is that.
And they're just like stood. And it's not even like you're out to dance.
I know,
Because if you
but
want to go out and drink and catch a vibe, you'd probably go to a bar.
I get what you're saying about the kind of predator kind of thing, but I think a lot of the time some people just want to connect. Because like, where do people go to like interact with other queer
But
people?
connect doing what?
I mean, it's just to have like friendships or anything.
Friendships, Phil.
I mean, it depends on
Friendships.
what you define as a friendship. You know what I mean? But it's just, I mean, my point is that there may be some older men that may not know where the places are to go or where to meet people, let's say their age, or like where to socialize. And you have to think
And
about.
would you say to one of those men that heaven is the place to find someone your age? As we established, how old? 18-year-olds. Yeah. It seems like they know
Do you know
what they're going for.
Okay, you got me there. I tried, Philo. I'm sorry. Like, Mars won that one.
Everybody, welcome to Phil on Get the Belt podcast. Right, let's get stuck into it.
Let's get into it.
Give us your word of the week.
I have a quote actually. I think it's on my phone.
Yeah.
1 second. So I used to have this as a poster.
Feel free to look into the camera's eyes as well sometimes.
Sorry. I'm gonna do it all seductive, like.
Ooh.
Actually, no, I'm not. There's pressure now. But basically, if you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And if you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. And that's a quote from Nora Roberts, whoever the hell that person is. So I had that on a poster on my wall.
Can you do it one more time because I got
You're
lost
absorbing it.
in the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
I really want it to resonate
Resonate.
with me
Okay.
and the listeners.
If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it.
Period.
If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place, which is a quote from Nora Roberts, whoever
Good
the hell that
Nora.
person is. So,
Speak on it, Phil.
so basically, I had this in a poster, like from, I think, uni, and then a little bit after uni. And it's interesting now because I got diagnosed with ADHD in 2021, towards the end of 2021. So the ambition that I thought I didn't have was just a lack of attention. You know?
Okay, yeah.
So it's interesting that I always connected with that, because I think a lot of the time people stop themselves from like doing the thing or going for the thing that they want. And I have a lot of friends in my life that they limit themselves, and it's like, but you want that, so then go for that. Do that thing that you want to do. Achieve it. Like, go for it. Like, you're talented enough, you're smart enough, you're cool enough, you can do all these things. So yeah, that's why I wanted to say that.
Yeah, that really resonates with me. Because this show is something that I've wanted to and still want to do. But I found myself over the last like 4-5 years. I I was having a conversation about how old this show is, and I think it's actually coming up to either its 5th or 6th year anniversary, which is crazy.
It's at least 2019.
Yeah.
I think that's when we met. It was going then.
Yeah, 2020. So we'll get to the details later. But it's not old, but it's getting on.
You've been doing it a while. Yeah.
But there've been moments where I've had to take breaks, and some of it is because like my nan passed and things of that nature. But there are times when even doing this show, what other things that I want to do, want to achieve, like really want, I can't. Sometimes I just feel incapable of doing it. And not just because it's just me or whatnot. Sometimes, like, I've heard people say, oh, but you're so connected and, you know, you're in London and this and that. But there are some times where I'm like, it seems impossible. And I don't think I've got ADHD. I remember my mum definitely took me to a special person when I was younger.
Not like, 'cause as you were speaking, I was like, it's giving ADHD as you were describing.
I feel like I've definitely got something. And the person that my mum took me to when I was young, and my mum, the little... she uses this against me in arguments, or when she was in my life anyway, she'd be like, yeah, I took you to that place and they said you don't have ADHD, but you've definitely got something. Like, something's definitely wrong.
When was this?
I mean, I was under 10. I would have been like 8 or 9.
And you've had no kind of like any kind of formal like diagnosis or
No,
anything?
I then went when I was in uni to in my first year because I wanted the money to get a laptop. So I tried to get. I'm gonna keep 1,000 with you on this podcast, bitch. I wanted the money, man.
But to be fair, I mean, if you're entitled to it,
exactly. And I struggle. I will all meet right. I'm gonna share a story with all of you. For 90% of the time, if I'm writing or if I'm sending a text message and I have to write the word young, I will always put an E on the end and then go back and delete it or cross it out. I know that's not how you spell it, but I always fucking do it. Why is that? And I do it with so many other little words. It's like it's a madness. Anyway, I went to go and get tested for, what's that one where you struggle? Dyslexia.
Yes.
And the bitch was like, listen, we don't normally ever share results, but she turned around the screen and was like, you're really good, like you're very intelligent, like you're doing more than what this test would normally do, but yeah, you're not dyslexic. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I need this laptop. And can we
do it again?
Yeah, let me redo it. Oh, but yeah, I don't have it, but I'm saying all of this to say that I too like really struggle to do things that I know that I'm more than capable of, but I don't know what it is in me, like a fear of, I don't know, a mixture of like a fear of like failing at life and like being so understanding of like humanity, but also that passion for whatever it is that I want to do, be it the Get the Belt podcast or continuing to act or trying to stick to the gym. I can prevail, but it's hard. Like, it's so hard. How do you take that word of the week and make sure it happens, especially when you're saying that you've got ADHD as well? How do you continue to ask or continue to put that foot forward and move? And...
I wasn't expecting you to flip reverse that on me, but okay.
Girl, you know I'm versatile, bitch. I'll be flipping and reversing all the shits.
How do I... I think for me, it's like I've been... I don't want to say lucky, but...
Not you just giving me the light skin squint. The light skin squint. You did that. Period.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, it happens. How do I do it? I think, I mean, a diagnosis of ADHD would have been very useful in the 90s, you know, when I was in primary school or something.
Well, yeah.
But I think ever since I was diagnosed, I've just been looking at I've been looking into stuff online. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this stuff, like a lot of advice from other people that have ADHD is quite useful. So there's that. It's also, I guess, prioritizing what you want. Like sometimes, I guess, writing down everything that you want to achieve and then breaking it down. Like I have a difficulty, I think I still do. And I was thinking about this yesterday, actually, as you say this, in breaking down tasks into smaller tasks. Like I've always had that. I don't know if it's part of the ADHD or what, but I think it's that. But it's just... maybe having a more a higher awareness of yourself, and getting to know yourself better, but also how you can trick yourself into like doing those sorts of things. So for example, for a long time I was achieving a lot, especially particularly in the early part of my like sexual health career, because like I didn't realize it at the time, but I was like chasing dopamine. I was like, it feels really good to put this stuff out. It feels really good to write this article, to be on this podcast, to be on this panel discussion, to do this, to do that. And like you keep chasing that. So it's about figuring out how you can, I guess, essentially trick yourself into enjoying those things and going for them. If that helps, I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100% that does.
But I also wanted to add to that because I find it interesting that you said that, because
That said what?
that you said that like you struggle to do the things you know you're capable of because you're always doing something. You don't stop.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
the thing is, I do. Like when we was even like here setting up, that you don't see behind the scenes. You might see what's on the Instagram.
Yeah.
And yeah, I may always be running from one place to the other, but there are definitely times where
you slow down.
I slow down. But even in those moments, I got to admit, like yesterday, I was doing a self tape, and I literally fell to the floor and like had my hands like this because I was thinking about getting this self tape done.
Mm-hmm.
Also about this recording today. Also the fact that I started work in. I work in. Let me not even do that. But where I was working at 6:45 in the morning. And then another thing I had to, and I was just like, this is actually a lot.
Do you find yourself overwhelmed a lot?
Yeah, that's literally what I said. I was like, I just feel so overwhelmed. Everyone that's asked me how I've been the last like 2 days, my response has been, yeah, I'm good, but I'm overwhelmed. Like, I don't know which one's better, but I know that if I'm overwhelmed and I stick to whatever it is I'm doing, I'm gonna achieve something. But if I'm not doing anything, then I'm underwhelmed. And what have I achieved? Nothing.
It's interesting. Do you know anything about like Enneagram types?
Who?
It's like
Enneagram.
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 Yes.
Like any of them. But Enneagram.
It's like E-double-N-E-A, something like that. But basically it's like there's like 9 different types.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a type 7, and you're saying stuff that is very type 7. So
I mean, 7's my lucky number. I got it on my fucking hand.
Do you?
Yeah, 7 Roman numerals because Beyonce.
Roman numerals because Beyonce. I'm gonna find something for you. I'm gonna find this thing. I'm just gonna read a bit of it. And let's see if you relate actually.
Okay.
Because it's just you said.
No, you overtake and get the belt to diagnose me.
I mean, small. Where is it?
Come on, diagnose a bitch. Let's go. So you about to ask me questions?
No, I'm just gonna say something. Where is it? Stress. I'll find it, I swear. Here we go. So you feel compelled to stay on the go, moving from one experience to the next, searching for more stimulation. But this is not to say that 7s are spinning their wheels. They generally enjoy being practical and getting things done. So it's like a double-edged sword in which like we tend to maybe take on way too much.
Yeah.
But then we do enjoy that, but then it's also exhausting and overwhelming at the same time. So it's like that balance of enjoying
We're not talking
that.
about sex, are we?
No, I'm talking about just stop. Like, you were talking about how you were doing the.
Okay, yeah. It's just when you said taking on a lot and it's just overstimulating and fatiguing and just okay.
No,
all right,
not sexually.
Just like
no.
okay, just all like the workloads.
Just life. You know,
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a type 7. It would make sense.
Okay, I'll give you the test after this. You can let the listeners know in the next podcast.
Yeah.
In the next episode.
Anyway, the word of the week.
Word of the week. Yes,
really
let's circle back.
sidetracked.
See, ADHD.
But, yeah. Oh shit. Well, yeah. Keep on putting your foot forward, and ask. Otherwise, the answer is always no.
What's the other one?
And the other one was if you. Wait a minute.
You want me to recite?
No, see? Oh, shit. Right, if you don't move forward, if you don't put a step forward, you're going to be in the same place. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And if you, give me the third one.
Nearly. If you don't go after what you want,
you'll never get it.
You'll never have it. Yeah. So that's my word of the week. It's a quote. Basically, push yourself, do better, do all the things, motivate yourself, motivate people around you, inspire yourself. take in creative things, journal, write, draw, take pictures,
Suck dick.
suck dick. Yes.
Get your dick sucked. Talk to your loved ones as well. Maybe not about the
Yes.
sucking dick, but maybe if you got that kind of relationship.
That's some white people
Therapy. Huh?
Shit. That's some white people shit.
Listen, I speak to my cousins about, well, obviously I'd only be sucking the same dick now. But back in the day, I would tell them the stories. But once again, we are going off track.
Yes.
Shit, maybe I am ADHD.
I don't know. It's giving ADHD. It's giving lack of attention. It's giving like focus is all over the place. It's giving short attention span. It's giving forgetfulness. I'm sorry. We have to go on for another test.
Right, that is this week's word of the week. Right, so Phil, how has your week been this week?
It's Tuesday.
Or the last week?
Last week was intense. Last week was a lot. Like work-wise, I just I had a lot on, but I wasn't sleeping properly. Not because of work. I just annoyingly a fucking part of like ADHD is I struggle to get to sleep.
See, I don't have a problem with that.
No, but I also suspect that my mom has ADHD and she goes out like a lump. So I don't know. But like generally, like I struggle to put my phone down. And then before I know it, it's 4 a.m. and I need to wake up at 9 to go to work.
What keeps you on your phone?
Stupidness. Twitter, Reels. I'm not really on TikTok, but just nonsense, basically.
That surprises me that you're not on TikTok.
Right. Why?
Because, like, I've never really been, like, I feel like everyone knows I've never really been a Twitter kind of person. But, like, when that first came out...
Oh, I see you tweeting, actually.
Sometimes I try, but it's really effort. It's really big effort for me to do it. But you've always been like, oh, okay, this app's here on it, like, good with it. So, like, when TikTok came out, I would have thought you would have been like, okay, yeah, cool.
I have an account. And if someone sends me something, it will open the TikTok app, but I don't use it. And there's two things. There's one, I feel like I struggle with how to edit things on there. Like, I don't know, I swear technology was all about the same. We're all on the same level. And then TikTok came about and then, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm not as tech savvy as I used to be.
Yeah, I'm starting to like that and that's making me feel my age.
Yeah, TikTok makes me feel my age. But then there's also...
Even Snapchat.
Even Snapchat. Actually, Snapchat is
because Snapchat.
Because there's bare settings and you're just like,
no, I don't get it no more. I used to really know how to use Snapchat. Like I'd be on Snapchat, and then I don't know what happened. It just like fizzled out, and then I tried to jump back on it again because this was back in my hoe days. People would want to know.
As soon as you said, I jumped back on it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I had jumped back on it, and then because people wanted to know my Snap. And then I started to like realize, oh, people want your Snap because they want to do things that they're not meant to be doing.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, you know what, this ain't really for me. But then since then I've like tried to go on it like every now and then just to see like what is up. And I don't understand it now. There's a map on the home screen and all these things, and it's got news and it is too much. It's a whole thing. Whereas before it was just send a picture, receive a picture or a video, and have a little fucking mask with dog tongue or whatever as a filter. Yeah. And now it's back in the Matrix.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think the other reason that keeps me off of TikTok is that I know that like as bad as I am with my phone, I know if I get TikTok, like if I properly get into it, that's my life. Like I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna be like this. I'm just gonna be like this all day, every day because the videos on there are so good. So that's why I stay off it.
Yeah. Oof. But other than the workload being a lot and you not sleeping,
generally I'm good. I'm doing really good. Besides this weather, like this country, like I don't know, like it's brighter, but it's still freezing cold. One day it's 10 degrees, the next day is 2 degrees. Like I'm ready for spring. We're not necessarily in spring because it's still freezing cold, but like my birthday is coming up, which I'm excited about. And I just feel like when the sun is shining, like we're all just happier people, despite the government trying to kill us on a daily basis. Yeah,
facts. Yeah, I'm very excited for spring to see brighter, longer days.
We're starting to see a bit of that.
Yeah.
But how are you?
I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. No, like I'm just doing so much. Like even me saying this now is making me think about you saying, "Oh, you do so much." But
you
no.
always do it. Like whenever, like we've had a conversation prior to us starting about how Instagram for some reason is not showing me Mouse's posts. But whenever I do see anything you do, it's like I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm going here, I'm doing. So it's like you're always on the go, essentially, which made me also think about the 7 thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to build a fucking empire. Like, I really am.
I feel like
and
you've been doing that for as long as I've known you.
Where the fuck is the empire? How much should I stop? No, but I really am. And you know what? Like, it's taken a long time. And I have seen a lot of, like, success from, like, the stuff that I've done and that I've been, you know, quote unquote, doing all the time over the last few years, whether that's in awards or like the money or like connections or
so you're making connections,
the things.
You're making money, you're winning awards. This is all good.
Yeah,
I know. This is all part of it.
I know, but it's not enough.
What is enough?
I'm meant to be interviewing and chatting to you, nigga.
So I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm like this with friends as well. I always do it. I'm sorry.
No, like it is, but it's not. I want more money. I want more reach. I want to affect and impact more people. I want to have more engagement with people. I want to perform new things. I want to be challenged creatively. And you know, I was in like the Book of Mormon for a while, and that allowed me to like be financially like stable. It also allowed me to produce things like this, do my charity events. I just want to do more stuff like that. So obviously I've left Mormon now, and I'm auditioning so much, from TV stuff to musicals to plays, and I'm having like, I'd say two auditions, maybe 3 auditions a week if I include like self-tapes, which can eat into my early morning. Like once I've finished my day, I'm like, okay, right now I need to learn this scene and this scene to record for this self-tape, for this musical, for this show. And that can take me to 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. And then I've got to be up for like 4 or 5 to go to work to earn the money that pays the bills.
Yep.
And then when that is done from 6 till 1 or 2, I'm like, okay, well, I've got to prep for this podcast, or I've got to also rehearse for that audition, or I might just need to cook some egusi stew and just actually just breathe for a bit. Like, it's a lot. So I'm busy, but I am also very grateful to be busy. Like I was saying, like I like to do these things. And if you don't put, like you said, your foot forward, you're not going to be somewhere else. If I'm not doing these auditions or challenging myself, I'm never going to progress.
That's
so as much as I've been busy and overworked and overwhelmed, what's that Beyonce song that she say? Underpaid and overworked. I can't remember.
I think you may have had it on the first one.
Was it the first one?
I think so.
Well, that's what it is now.
Oh, it drops on my birthday.
Huh?
The album drops.
The album drops on your birthday, end of this month, right?
Good Friday. I'll be entering my early 30s, and there'll be a new Beyonce album.
You'll be entering your early 30s.
My mid 30s, sorry.
I was gonna say you already.
I mean, yes. I'm adjusting, but mid 30s. That's wild.
Oh, lit! That's a great birthday present.
Yeah, Beyonce's new album.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna give a shit about my birthday, but it's fine.
They will. They will. I promise. But yeah. Otherwise, I'm good. I'm trying to think. I hosted the Urban World Party last week, or was it the week before? I can't remember.
Wait, and you didn't remember that?
I had so much tequila. And so much weed.
Yeah.
I was done. But yeah, that was lit. So shout out to Urban World for choosing me to host the event. It was super dope, and like the people that came and that turned up, it was such a vibe. Can't wait for the next one. What else did I do? Just these auditions and work. And then this episode came out. Well, not this episode, but last week's episode with Derek Carter. I'm so fucking tired. But yeah, Derek, the CEO of Carterware. Have you heard of Carterware? You would have seen it on your timeline. You definitely would have seen it on your timeline.
I don't know.
Carterware. Have you ever seen any black men wearing a thong or a jock strap and it says Carterware on it? Lies.
What?
I know you would have seen this.
Maybe if I see a picture, I can't think of it.
Yeah, you would have seen this.
Like the fashion, I feel like a fashion line is like the new podcast at the minute. Like a lot.
You ain't never seen any of this stuff?
I don't think so. You know.
No.
They
Well,
look really good.
now you know.
Can you
Who,
send
the
me?
briefs or the men's?
Both. Can you
Period.
send me that?
But yeah, we had Derek, the CEO of Carterware, come on the show, and that was super fun.
Amazing.
Thank you for everyone that has like followed the podcast on YouTube and TikTok. We're trying to get the content out for you people, Dems. But yeah, that was super fun, and like I was proud to finally have like the show back out and in with this new aesthetic. The sign is pink this week because it's Women's Month in March. Like I said earlier, we couldn't get a real, like you transphobic people that say a real woman. We couldn't get a real woman. But stay tuned. We're gonna have some special guests next week. But yeah, just out here hustling, hardly sleeping, eating too much, not going to the gym as much as I like to, but we'll try again this week.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I've been going a lot actually recently.
You've been more?
I've been going to the gym a lot actually. That's like one thing that's going well in my life. When I say
Come
one
on.
thing, that is a thing going well in my life. Yes.
Yeah, I need to step my pussy up when it comes to the gym, but we move. So it is now time for Melanin Magnificence. Who does your Melanin Magnificence go to this week?
It's gonna go to Florence Ashalomi.
Okay, who's that?
She's an MP for Vauxhall.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Vauxhall covers Vauxhall's Brixton, Kennington, and 2 other places. She told me. I've met her a few times, and I interviewed her for a project I can't talk about just yet.
Oh,
it's coming soon.
come on, Beyonce.
No, Beyonce won't tell you. She'll just drop it.
Yeah.
But like, I just think she's incredible. I think she's an incredible woman. She's doing incredible work, and she does a lot of work around HIV. She does a lot of work around Black women and childbirth, and we need more Black women like that in the House of Commons to, I guess, support us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good stuff.
Dope. My Melanin Magnificence this week goes to Ray, the British singer who started out in the Brit School and went on to be, I think she was signed to a record label and then she went independent and like had an uphill battle with like releasing her music and her album, and it finally came out and she's had such success. But I'm giving it to her specifically because the Brit Awards were last night or the night before, I can't remember.
I think it was
Recently. It was in the last couple days. But Ray...
Google it.
Huh?
Google it. No, I meant the listeners Google it.
Yeah, listeners
You
Google
Google
it. But she broke a record and became like one of the first ever artists to win 6 awards in one night at the Brit Awards. So with the knowledge of her history and her journey, being independent, being a Black woman in that industry or in any industry in the UK, well done to you for shining so bright and being such like a beacon of hope that you don't need all of these white people with their wallets behind you or like big corporations. Like sometimes it is possible to achieve greatness and to be the first something to achieve something great with just your determination, your talent and hard work. So yeah, big up to you, Ray. Congratulations. And yeah, I'm giving you Melanin Magnificence this week.
It's just wild though, because I remember when she tweeted about it. She was tweeting about how I'm unable to put out my music and my label's stopping me. And I think she was going through a period of just having these random singles or like random collabs, random features. And then like no one knew what she was going through, like behind the scenes. And then she tweeted. I remember it's so bizarre seeing her I remember that tweet coming out. I remember it on the timeline live as it happened. And then
because you stay on Twitter.
Because I stay on Twitter. I am on Twitter. Follow me. But it's just interesting seeing that journey of her saying that and then going independent and then releasing this album, the album doing well, and then her getting the accolades for it. Yeah, I'm really proud of her. I'm really happy for her.
Yeah. Super lit. So it's time now for Miles Measures. Let's get into the shenanigans of the week. So do you watch Big Brother or Celebrity Big Brother?
Usually, I know it was on yesterday. I didn't watch it live, but I'm gonna catch up today.
Has it already started?
It started yesterday.
Oh shit! Well,
Okay,
I was
good.
gonna read the list of people that are on there. Do you know who's on there?
Yeah, it leaked like a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
Or last
period.
week, I think. Yeah, it leaked.
Well, so we've got Sharon Osbourne.
Yes. Who I
I
haven't.
swear she's been on there before.
Apparently she's a lodger, and she's going there for like a week, and then
What in the fuck?
apparently what someone said she needs to get her Ozempic, so she's not gonna be in there full time. I don't know if that is. Don't quote me on this because I don't know if that's true, but allegedly she needs to get like regular shots of the Ozempic. I think so. She's not gonna be there
Wow, to
like
be a
full
white
time.
woman.
But then a friend of mine tweeted, but also tweeted that wouldn't it have made sense to get someone else and save that money
Well,
because she's only going to be there for a week. And then I haven't seen it, but apparently something problematic has happened around black people. But I was like, do you know, I'll deal with that.
well, I was gonna speak about that because, long story short, apart like, there's all these other people on here, but basically, there is we've got our girl ZZ Mills in there.
Mhm.
I just presume that everyone that listens to this or watches this podcast knows who she is. I rate her. She's got opinions and she stands 10 toes in their motherfucking opinions. And I rate that and I respect that.
Yeah.
And she gives black girl. Like she gives real black girl. Like
As opposed to not real.
as opposed to like not like she gives us all her emotions. She gives us all of her opinions. She gives us a wide range of opinions. It's not just that one thing all the time. It's not, oh, I'm not going to say anything for the cameras. And it's also not, let me just cuss. Like she's a well-rounded black girl and she doesn't ever filter that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, there's some other people in there.
Say their names. Say their names.
Right, so right. There's a lady in there called Marisha Wallace who is a musical theatre performer.
There's a
She
lot.
did Dream Girls and all the things. Like she's well known.
Mm-hmm.
I howled when I saw that she was going to be in there, especially alongside ZZ, because I was really interested to see how these two people will merge, and not only merge and like interact with each other, but like being a black woman or being black in general, but being a black woman on these British reality TV shows is already risky business. And to have such polar opposite, like, because I don't know if you know, but in the musical theatre world, I personally think everyone is really quite, like, they never leave the stage. For the most part in the West End, they never leave the stage. They come off and it's fake as fuck, which is why I don't really be having that many friends. Now, I ain't saying Marisha's fake. I don't know her like that. I think that she's cute. From when I've seen her, she's been cute. But she definitely has been very, whenever I've seen her, like, in that musical theatre, everything's great. We all know. I've never met ZZ in the flesh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I already know ZZ is not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really interested and a bit concerned to see how these two black women that give completely different vibes are going to interact with each other. That's going to be entertaining. And also to see how they will function as the black women in the house with all of the rest of them and in the world and whatever's happening there.
You never know how it can go though. I mean, I didn't watch I'm a Celeb, but Nigel Farage was getting on with people, so
Him and fucking what's her name?
oh dear. We're gonna have to edit
I'm
this.
terrible. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not editing it.
You
for
know who
shit.
we're talking about.
But you know who we're talking about. They ended up, even though she cussed him out a few times, but they would chop it up sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely interested to see how Marisha, and as a colleague or someone in my industry, I'm very, very interested to see how this is going to play out. And I wish them both the best. I want them both to do well and have a good time on the show. That makes me also bring to question, do you feel that British TV is a safe space for black people?
Sorry. So the question alone is making me laugh. Absolutely fucking not. And especially for black women, particularly within reality TV shows. I think often what happens, and this sounds like an anomaly where there's two black women in one show.
Yeah.
Like when you see Love Island, for example, there's always the one dark-skinned black girl.
Yeah.
That is usually in there from the beginning. I love Love Island. You see I'm on Twitter. I'll be tweeting about Love Island every fucking series. But there's always the one dark-skinned black woman that's putting at the front that just has like a really negative experience, for example. And I feel like, I don't know, like the way white people react to black people on reality TV shows is crazy. Black people in general, black women especially black women that have something to say, that are not afraid to speak their mind, that are not afraid to be opinionated, that are not afraid to ruffle feathers. Like if you have the audacity to be honest about your thoughts and feelings, then like you get shredded online. So like it's not a safe space. I don't think it's a safe space for people like online. Like online, like I've had experiences online where white people have lost their shit over things that I've said when it's like, that's a fact though. So yeah, I would absolutely not. But it's not a safe space for black people. Reality TV show.
And it's interesting because Zizi actually, she was speaking to some influencer on their podcast. I can't remember which one it was, but she actually said to this girl, you know, I disagreed with something that you tweeted in regards to British TV, like black women shouldn't be going on British TV because if we don't, that space is continuously going to be unoccupied by us and it's not going to be a normal thing. Obviously, we're still in that, you know, into that middle stage where it's still not really for us and we're still having to go through a lot, but we need to be the ones to go there to allow that to become a space where people get used to us being there. So I think, again, her standing in what she says, again, which I rate, she said that, boom, within a few weeks, she's on Big Brother. So yeah, I'm excited. I may just watch this season.
I'm not gonna lie, the last one, the regular series, was really good. It was really good. It was more like nostalgic, classic Big Brother, like the first 3-4 series before people got super aware of the cameras and like what comes next. It was like that. It gave that kind of authentic vibe. It was really interesting to watch.
Just going through this, we've got Levi Roots. David Potts from Ibiza Weekend. I don't know what the fuck that is. Marisha Wallace, like I said, musical theatre performer. Kate Middleton's uncle, Gary Goldsmith. Fuck knows. Coronation Street's Colson Smith. Don't know. Love Island winner, Ekin-Su. Don't know who that is.
Ekin-Su is amazing. I'm so sorry, but she's
black girl.
She's not black girl. She's Turkish, but she's an icon. She's
is legend. It?
She's the moment.
She's the moment.
She's the moment.
I'm gonna watch this. Are you gonna watch this one?
Yeah, I just didn't watch it.
Am I gonna be looking out for your tweets?
Yes, because I need to catch up so I can be live.
Okay, yeah, nah. So we all know what you'll be doing after this recording. Well,
you know what I'm gonna be doing. Next question.
Ha. Do you know who Donte Colley is?
Yes.
He's really cute boy. Canadian dancer known for like going viral on TikTok for his like dancing and stuff like that.
I think I know what you're gonna say
about Nicki Minaj.
I saw a tweet. I kind of loosely took in the information and kept scrolling. But correct me if I'm wrong. But there's a dance move he did to one of her songs, and then she took that and put it into her tour, and didn't credit him for it.
Yeah.
So I was right. See, that's why I scrolled, because like you see, I know how to consume Twitter.
I am unsure whether it was to her song though.
I just assumed it would have been to her song because it was.
Yeah. So he created like a couple counts of 8 to her song "Fuck This Club Up," and he uploaded it, and then she's taken it, and since then fans have let her know like, this is this boy's work, like he's really good, and then she like tweeted back like, oh yeah, like thanks for like connecting me, I thought some lady made it up, but since then he literally just went to took back to Twitter and TikTok, and said the following. A month later, Colley hopped back onto his TikTok with another video about the situation. Responding to his video, Casper Smart, choreographer for the stars, including Nicki Minaj, responded to the Canadian dancer. Colley clapped back and said, I was offered an amount that was under $100 and I was told that $2,000 is for a song and that it would be prorated amount for an 8 count. I would never consider selling my work for that amount. I really appreciate Nicki for tweeting and saying that she wanted to make things right. However, the person that she's put in charge has not made this positive. He went on to also say that he's not been offered any more, and any other counter offer or like credit for it has all been rejected.
Yikes.
I also have heard in the streets allegedly that Nicki Minaj is actually broke right now.
Huh?
Allegedly.
Okay, we need to talk after we finish recording.
Yeah, I've heard that the money is running dry because of things that have been happening with her husband, the cases he's had and everything, and her being on the internet with beefing with Megan, and it's just all very messy in the camp and has been for some time.
Yeah. I think it's even as far
the money is ran dry, and if you've got a TikTok dancer and you're using his music and the camp, Nicki's camp, are offering less than $100,
that is wild.
Those two stories, it kind of makes it seem like these alleged rumors of the brokenness being maybe not so alleged. Do you not think so? Because I would have thought it should have been like, boom, yeah, here's a couple grand.
That's a good theory, actually, because I didn't think about. I haven't heard that rumor myself.
Well, I was like, oh yeah, like I mean, she's still out here looking good, but she's not exactly going to post on the internet that she's that.
The song that she did to clap back at Meg flopped. I know that it was terrible though.
I mean, it was something.
Like I used to be a big. I'm not as far as a Bob, but I used to be a big fan. I
Yeah,
feel like
me too. I still pay her.
Most like black gay men we were all on the wave.
Facts.
And then she's
that Monsterverse.
Yeah, then she slowly
pull up in the monster automobile gangster.
We're the bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I'm in a tank. I call him Willy Wonka. Come on. You could be the king, but watch the queen conquer. Yeah.
But like, I feel like her music has declined, particularly from even during Queen. There was a couple songs on Queen, but like Queen onwards, it's just I've not really listened to. I listened to this last album once, and I was like, this is awful. I feel like I like
R&B.
I know, but I always feel like I'm not. I just realized we're on a podcast, so I'm talking negatively about Nicki Minaj, so I'm gonna be careful about my words.
No, but you can say anything you want.
Okay, my opinion. It's my personal opinion. Don't come for me. Don't find me on Twitter. I just feel like her music and her lyrics in particular have not been as good as they were previously.
You wouldn't be the first person to say
that's all I'm saying. Don't come for me, like, because a couple Rihanna stans came for me earlier this week, so I'm just yeah.
Like in these Twitter streets, honey, getting the fans mad.
But yeah, for having an opinion, my opinion about Rihanna is that she doesn't have the same passion for music as she used to have, which.
Let's talk about Rihanna. Let's move on swiftly from right. So Rihanna was paid allegedly $6 million for performing in India for a millionaire or billionaire's birthday party. Now, videos have resurfaced of the performance that she gave.
Is that shade?
No.
It depends on which video you saw.
Of the gig, like the shift she was on.
The shift she was on.
The shift she was on. The very, very highly paid shift.
Yeah, the good shift she was on, yes.
She just wasn't, I think there are rumours that the man that paid her is apparently calling her lazy and that he feels like he took the piss. That Rihanna took the piss. Allegedly, he is saying that he feels ripped off by Rihanna. No. But I think you can't order, Rihanna and expect Beyonce performances. Because she gave you the Super Bowl performance. The only thing that was missing is all the ba-ba-ba and the lights and the grandness of it. But when you actually just concentrate on the performer herself, Rihanna, and I fucks with Rihanna, I think she's lit, but she doesn't give energy.
I feel like...
Or the energy she gives is just do-do-do-do-do.
I feel like she
gives vibes.
She's a mother and a businesswoman.
But so is Beyonce. And did you not see Beyonce's performance?
No,
while she's on tour. Twins.
Beyonce's
3 kids.
Beyonce's wife, a mother, a businesswoman, and a singer. I feel like Rihanna's
and performer, and dancer,
exactly,
an actress.
But I feel like Rihanna's not doing those things anymore. Like I feel like I did when people
she's technically a singer. She's gonna release new music
by hire. She's a singer by hire. So if someone wants to give her $6 million, she'll sing in India. If the Super Bowl, barefoot. If
barefoot.
the Super Bowl want her, she'll get her money. Yeah. She'll do her small makeup And then that's again businesswoman. It's all connected.
And I live
That's
for
what I'm
it.
saying. Where I feel like she's not who she used to be, and that's okay.
But did she ever really give? Did she ever really
She
eat?
gets sometimes she gets. No, there was that one that X Factor performance 2012.
Yeah, that was England, right?
With the wet wig, bitch. No, she was on one that day, but like she doesn't. I just feel like she doesn't have that same passion for music. She doesn't have that same drive for music. It doesn't excite her anymore. And if it did, she'd put out an album. Like people on the internet trying to fight me about oh, she had kids and COVID happened. Okay, but
again, look at Beyonce.
She
went through the same pandemic and went through the same childbirths,
yeah,
if not more. And she's came and given more.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. But again, do not come for me. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. If you think differently, it's okay if you think
He should have known better. If you ordered Rihanna,
you're gonna get
Rihanna, and she gave you what she does, and she gives vibes, and I love that. But you can't complain that she wasn't eating the choreography. You can't complain that she wasn't fierce, because that's not that bitch.
Yeah,
that's not what she gives.
And to her credit, like when I came for her, because there was one video in which she was just looked like she was literally there for a check. They were then sending me ballads to show that she was actually giving in those sorts of parts. So, anyways.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm gonna lock my account on this.
Speaking of this country, yeah. Have you seen that they're going to be new laws in terms of tenancies? Renters. This goes out for you. Where it will now be a part of the tenancy agreement where you are banned to have sex.
Sorry?
I read this, right, so I'm reading this. Yeah, I'm reading this from Vice. So Brits are no strangers to outrageous landlords, but just when you thought they couldn't sink any lower, they've come up with a new way to ruin your life. No sex tenancy clauses. Disturbingly, some tenants have found no sex clauses actually written into their tenancy agreements. Sometimes it's expressed overtly, at other times disguised as a ban on overnight guests. The question is, how can this legally happen?
Okay.
And then it goes on and on.
So, overnight guests, fine. But what about daytime guests? So people can't have sex in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. Like, so I'm trying to process this.
Yeah. So everyone check your rent tenancy agreements, because
what is it just hidden in there?
Well, as it said, some of it is overtly saying this, or some of it is very hidden and will be disguised as no overnight guest or whatnot.
I just feel like it's a very British thing. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's a very British thing for us to police sex in this way.
Uh-huh.
Like, we have this thing in this country where less the gays, like we know what we're doing, but straight people in this country, and maybe less so as time has gone on, that we have this whole, we're British, we don't have sex, and it's like we do. We have the highest teenage pregnancy in like Europe for a reason, because we don't talk to our children about sex. We try to act as if sex isn't a thing that happens, and that's just a very weird thing to do. Like, if you're paying big London rent, this is in London, right?
Then I'm fucking everywhere, bitch.
Everywhere. Okay.
In my property.
No.
If I'm paying big rent in my property, I'm fucking in the shower, on the toilet, in the corridor,
in the living room,
on the staircase, in the kitchen, on the counter, on the stove if it's not too hot. I'm fucking everywhere. Yeah. I think it's mad. Like, I was actually speaking to a friend recently who asked his landlord, who he knew, but like, asked to be like, oh, is it okay if like I bring people around? I would never think, even if I knew them, to ask that, because if I'm paying my money to stay here, I'm doing what I want.
But especially where rent has gone up practically universally, so your rent is going up.
And now I can't even get my ass eat.
No, absolutely fucking not.
No, drop the rent, I'm staying for free, because this is either my house and I'm doing what I want, as long as it don't hurt nobody or break the rules, or not. You're not living with family. It's
so wild. Like, I feel like the only way I could comprehend it, not justify it, comprehend it, like understand if someone was maybe homophobic, if you had a straight landlord and it didn't want gay sex in the house, it's still an issue,
or
but
Christian.
It would make something like that, but like for people to just say it for the sake of saying it, like what was the reason? What was the reason? Like,
All
why?
I know is all these circuit parties in Vauxhall, they better check their tendencies, honey.
I
Because
doubt there's any of those in Vauxhall. I'm not gonna lie to you.
what those tenancy agreements?
Those particular tenancy agreements with the clause that you can't have sex in, because no one will be able to rent anything if that's
Well,
the case.
Next, now, so do you follow Gay Magazine on Instagram and that GAYE mag, Gay Mag?
Mm-mm.
So it's American based, but it's like black gay shit, and I think they're lit. I think they're lit. It's like a shade room or shade bar or TMZ, but black queer stuff. It's dope. But they shared a clip of the Steve Wilkins show. Have you heard of that? Okay, so it's like a Jerry Springer type S thing. I'm gonna show you a clip and I'm gonna put it on here so you guys watching it at home can see. But it was basically this woman who thought her boyfriend was gay, or a husband, I think boyfriend, so she took him to get a lie detector test. This how it go.
Honestly, I feel like he's attracted to men. I feel like he's done stuff with men. I think he's gay because how he walk too feminine. Like he just walk like a girl to me. When we talking, sometimes he like, okay, girl. Like I never been with no man that talks like that. Like he just have that like like a girl. We're not really intimate, and it's like I have to ask him. And with my previous people I've dealt with, I never had to ask nobody to be intimate. Honestly.
Oh yeah, so basically he took the test and then
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being gay, but that's just not me.
That's him.
What shows do you like watching?
Well, one is the Steve Wilkos show.
Well, but that doesn't make you straight.
I know. Yeah.
So I got a lot of gay people watch my show, and I'm proud of it. Have you ever had sexual contact with a man? He answered no. Have you ever had sexual intercourse with a man? He answered no.
What do you think he was? Do you reckon he's telling the truth or do you reckon he was lying?
I was getting like my gaydar's pretty good. I was picking something up. What happened?
And the result for those two questions is that Christopher, he told the truth.
In another world,
Huh?
that's you and your girlfriend. Are you staying with her after she's made you take a lie detector test?
I feel like where's shame? Bring back shame. Like, why are you bringing your partner on national television to do a lie detector test, telling the world that you're not intimate with him? Why? Like, if you're not getting what you want, like, communicate that directly to your partner or leave. Like, there doesn't need to be a national...
They probably got a check.
Maybe. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
They
But
probably would have got a check.
I don't know. I know he looked a bit too happy that the results came through. I don't know.
Would you have stayed with them if that was your partner?
I feel like I wouldn't be in a relationship where I'm not trusted.
That
Period.
part.
Because once you don't have trust, you don't have anything.
Yeah. I do feel like it feeds into black masculinity, whatever that looks like, or what I would prefer to say is like the ability that the black man has to be a well-rounded human being, which comprises of both masculine and feminine energy. And I feel like, as soon as a guy starts saying like, okay, girl, all of a sudden now he's gay or whatnot, or like he walks feminine, or like, I just feel like black men aren't given the space to just be without being told they're too feminine or they're gay or like they're too aggressive, and it's like they can't just be any in between, because he didn't scream fag.
The only time I picked up of it, he's like, his face turned and I was like, maybe, But like generally, also, can we talk about how Sis's hair was laid?
Oh yeah, the wig was cute.
The girlfriend's hair, like when if you saw the clip, her hair was...
probably did it.
But it made me think about what you were saying around black masculinity in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like with with black men, there's this expectation that black men have to be hyper masculine, aggressive. We have to be thugs or whatever. Oof. And if you deviate from that even slightly, then it's like it becomes, what's wrong with you? Or why don't you do like this? Or why don't you speak like that? Or you speak too white? Or you're this? Or da, da, da. And like I used to get that bits and pieces in my teenage years. I remember wow, I'm showing my age. In the grime kind of surge in like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, like there was always this thing of like, oh, Phil, why don't you spit bars? And I'm like, that's just not who I am. I'm so sorry, it's just not. Like, I mean, if I grew up somewhere else, or if I had maybe more supportive family around creative, like the arts and stuff, I would probably, if I was to do anything back then, I'd probably sing. Like, I've always enjoyed to sing, but that isn't like a typical thing for like black men or black teenagers in London to do of that time. So yeah, I just
unless they're in church.
Yeah, unless they're in church, and we weren't in church, so there was that. But yeah, I just think it's so ridiculous that we have all of these stereotypes and like all of these expectations of what black men should be.
Yeah.
And then I always found it wild that when I was younger, it was like, oh, you're so before I came out, it was you're not black enough. Like you're not black enough, you're not like masculine enough, not masculine. I mean, I was that, but you're not black enough because you like this.
Did you ever get the not masculine enough thing?
No, I think
no. You stay on trade.
I was very lucky that I was able to assimilate, I guess, and I don't know if like if that's tied into like trauma of like.
Would you not say that this is just you, like naturally, like?
Yeah, but I sometimes question where it comes from. And I'm not saying I have any issues like expressing femininity. Like I will say things, I will do things, I'll make jokes, I'll be silly and stuff like that. I'm not afraid of that, but it's just like masculinity has always come very naturally to me. But then I don't know if that's from the kind of the environment that I grew up in, because I have learned that like with my ADHD, for example, I have mixed types, so I'm hyperactive and inattentive. Hyperactive is like, being loud and I guess like being fidgety and those sorts of things, and then inattentive is more paying, like, lacking attention, losing things, like those sorts was things, and
losing, oh shit.
I keep dropping the odd symptom, and you're like, ooh. But like, where was I going with this? See, ADHD. Forgot what I was saying. Basically, when I was younger, I realized that I don't know how I learned this, but I learned to mask my hyperactivity in my bedroom. But then I also did that with my femininity. Right.
You learned to mask your
hyperactivity and my femininity, like expressing femininity.
In the bedroom?
In my bedroom. Not in the bedroom, in my bedroom. So when I was a kid, I'd be like gay as shit in my bedroom.
Right, I'm with you. And then when the door opens, yo, mum.
Yeah. But like maybe not that far, but yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, it's so funny because like one of my straight friends a few years ago, he said like, yeah, we should have clocked because you like Desperate Housewives. And I was like, wow, I was really watching Desperate. Hiding in plain sight, like what? So I don't know, but I just feel like everyone should just be how they want to be. Like we're forcing people to be in these boxes they don't fit in, and then they're suffering for the rest of their lives as a result.
Yeah. Speaking of boxes, yeah, and labels, I want to ask you, and I'm going to call this part of Miles Measures LGBTQDL school, because we may be learning something. Why are you saying, oh God?
The DLs and I, we don't get on, but continue.
I used to get on very well
I'm sure.
with the DLs. Literally and metaphorically speaking, okay. I used to get on them very, very well. Right. Yeah. Ooh.
I heard that flashback in that.
Right. The LGBTQDL community, because they are part of the community. I say this frequently.
Do you know, a friend of mine says their entire community, and especially in London, there's an entire DL community in London. Like, there really is.
Yeah.
There is, yeah. They come out at 2 a.m.
But they are part of the LGBTQ issue.
Absolutely.
Because if he gets his dick sucked by someone with a cold sore or the chlamydia and whatnot, he'll be going to the same gay clinic as the rest to treat the things.
Mm-hmm.
He's also sexually attracted to men.
Yes.
Which makes him not straight, which makes that DL man a part of the alphabet zoo.
Not Alphabet Zoo. Wow, I've not heard that one. I've heard Alphabet Mafia, but Alphabet Zoo is
Mafia, honey. No, the
Mafia
zoo.
makes more sense, but Zoo is actually more maybe more accurate, to be honest. Jeez.
Anyway, we are talking about labels. We got many different labels, even just within our own acronym. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I found out something new this week. Now we've got sexual roles, especially in the gay community. You know, we've got verse, top, and bottom, and I'm presuming everyone here knows what they are.
Mm-hmm.
If not, when you top, you stick in it. When you're bottom, you getting stuck, and when you verse, you do both. Hey, you BB, Ashata, God is good. You do both. We love doing both.
Miles, have you ever thought about teaching sex ed?
I think I'd be good at it. Hello, class. But this week, if not only a couple of days ago, I heard there is a fourth role in the community. In the community.
Yeah, are you talking about side?
Yes, I didn't know what side was.
Really?
I've not been on these apps for over a year now.
It's been longer.
So
Okay.
I only knew top, bottom, verse, like when I first went on the apps and discovered the things of what was what and all of that. But I read up that, a side, according to the Urban Dictionary, is a homosexual male who does not enjoy anal penetration, giving or receiving, but will engage in other forms of same-sex activity. Fellatio. I don't even know what frottage is, but okay, frottage.
Just rubbing, It's kind of
just rubbing the dick on the end of the on the
you
hole.
there can be some pleasure in that, yeah.
Yeah,
On
but
both
then
parts.
you generally go and then stick it, but they don't do the sticking
Yeah.
part. And mutual masturbation and stuff like that. Side.
Fingering, sucking, kissing, all sorts. They do basically.
Are you a side?
Absolutely not.
Do you know any sides?
Yeah.
And how long have they identified as sides?
Well, I think the thing is, a lot of people have identified as such, but not known the language. And then there's also this, the thing around how when you're queer, you don't really get, you kind of have to figure things out as you go.
Yeah.
As you go, you learn from friendships, relationships, and sex.
And Grindr.
I mean,
I learned
that ties into Grindr, I guess.
Yeah.
Into sex, sorry. But so people did it, they may have had an awareness that they're not a fan of penetration. But when you think about if the only options are top, bottom, verse, and you don't feel like you fit in with them, and then there's societal pressure of you need to bottom or you need to top, then they'll put themselves in those roles not knowing what they actually are. So it's only recently in the last, I want to say 3 or 4 years, I've seen that language being used more.
Come up. Well, you said the people didn't know the language. It's time for another lesson, girl. It's time for another lesson. So, according to LGBTQNation.com, the term side was coined in 2013 by Dr. Joe Court, a queer sex therapist who also identifies as a side. In an article titled Guys on the Side, Looking Beyond Gay Tops and Bottoms, Court wrote that he wanted to popularize the term side to help sides realize it's okay to not want penetrative anal sex. It doesn't make a person less gay, less masculine, or less of a sexual human being. That is, there's nothing wrong with anyone who doesn't want anal or vaginal penetration. He went on to say, for many queer men, anal is the end-all, be-all activity. Yeah. The ultimate peak of sexual gratification that helps them get off. Court wrote, but for sides, orgasms are merely the destination, and it's the journey that really makes the experience interesting.
Sorry.
Now, go on.
Do you know what? I don't know if you'll get this reference, but you know that performance where Tisha Campbell was like, it's the journey.
Oh my God, and I'm still here.
Yeah.
Stop!
That's the first thing my mind went to.
Yes, Tisha. Not her being brought up in this. I bet she's gagging.
Sorry.
How do you feel about labels?
What, in this context or generally?
In this context or in all contexts, in both?
Okay, so personally, I don't mind labels.
I fucking love them.
I feel like labels say where you are, who you are, what you do, what you like, your things. Because I always find, hilariously, people that don't want to identify in certain ways identify in other ways.
Well,
And I've always found that super interesting.
they don't.
I just like, so you have a label there, but in this instance you don't have
You
a label.
don't think
If
labels-
you dismiss all labels, fine, but you can't pick and choose where your labels want to lie.
Even then, the dismissing of a label makes you unlabeled, which is a label.
Oh, that's true. Actually, I don't think of it like that. That's actually a very good point.
I love labels because it allows you to not only be respected but respect other people and understand their boundaries.
Yeah, and I respect anyone that doesn't want to use a label if they don't, but I just find it straight. I just feel like,
I mean, I respect it, but I won't understand it, and you can't get at me for disrespecting you.
That's basically what I was gonna say.
Or treading on your toes because you've not given me any labels that let me know what the fuck is going on.
because there's little things, like for example, if you live in London, do you not identify as a Londoner? Is that not a label? Like, do you know what I mean? I mean, it's a basic example, but I still a label. So I'm not a Londoner because I don't attach to a label. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
And to me, you don't even need to understand what the label, or like, not even understand, but like get or like be connected to that label, but just merely know it exists and respect it. For example, me and side. I don't get it.
Yeah, but
I don't get it because it's not me.
Yeah, but
There's no way for me. Yeah, sex. It said that they see coming as just the destination, but they're interested in the journey. I'm interested in the journey,
And
the stops on the journey that we may make, where we eat on that journey, where we drop off, where you eat, like where we lay, like. But I'm also very much interested in the destination too,
Yeah,
and I enjoy all of it.
but then lots of different people are in different ways. So I know some
Which
people.
is why I'm saying that we should you should respect the labels and be aware of them, but it don't mean you have to get it, because I don't fucking get that shit. Like, no,
Yeah, but
that
that's
to me is
but that's not for you. But that might work perfectly for someone else. Because I know some people that, I don't know. I see that as also as like a spectrum of sorts. I know we have like sexuality as a
as
spectrum.
in like you like on like
Wait,
a side spectrum.
To some extent. Let me explain. Let me explain. We have a spectrum of gender. We have a spectrum of sexuality where some people are they might be bi, where they may go for men more, they may go for women more. There's like I mean, it's different. Like it can be like something where it's like person by person centric. But
Yeah.
I know someone, for example, off the top of my head, that might top every now and then, but identifies as a side, for example. You see what I'm saying?
But then now would it be, if I apply the logic to verse top and whatever, that they're a hold on, that they top, right? So they are a side verse top.
Well, I don't know if they're bottom, but I
Side
guess,
verse
is that a top side?
or
side?
a verse side? If they
I don't understand which particular label this would be, but they don't top that often.
do
So
they
it's like-
ever bottom?
I don't think so.
So I think they'd be a side verse top
But where the verse come in if they don't?
because they
'Cause it was
also
the side.
a side top,
Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're making
a
up
side
labels now.
top. Yeah, but more side.
Fair. But again, that's a spectrum,
Yeah.
you know, because there could be people that are like that very definition where it's like we don't like
You
absolutely.
don't
no
want to
pen-
be entered
But then also,
or handed.
I think the good
even
thing
though
about
the joy that is there is actually
yeah, but that's not how it is for everyone.
the
Sometimes
deliverance that happens in them.
I mean, it can be that way, and I agree. But for some, it's not that. Sometimes it's linked to like
They just-
fear or
yeah.
anxiety or like being uncomfortable
That's a
or
shame.
being too like, you know, some people. No, that's not for everyone. So I get it.
I also feel like sometimes it may not even be down to trauma or anything negative. Sometimes I feel like generally some people just are okay. Maybe, I don't know.
But
I'm
are
not
you
around those-
trying to tell me that every single time you've had sex, you've had penetrative sex, each and every single time?
95% of the
That's
time.
fair enough. But there's a few times where you
And
don't.
only since I've messed with guys,
Mm.
there's been the leeway of we're not gonna fuck. When I was just strictly with women, every time we're fucking.
Well, I guess
every
that's
time.
like it also ties into what society depicts. So with straight people, it's always a man and woman have sex, and they definitely have to have penetrative sex. With
Is it?
Yeah, I feel like I would be surprised. I'm not surprised, but
Because I would watch the porns and a woman would just come in and suck a man's dick and then the porn's done.
I guess, but there's lots of gay videos like that. My point is that like it's typical. It's a stereotypical thing for within straight dynamics where a man and woman have penetrative sex, and then also what that leads to. When we think about relationships, where then that leads to potentially having children and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And with gay men, there's also this thing of like we're apparently like, and some of the time we're whores and we have lots of sex and we do this and we do that. All these stereotypes of what gay men are, but then within that comes penetration. Mm-hmm. So I think with that. Is tied into what is expected from people that may identify as a side but not have that language of what that is or what that means. So yeah.
No, yeah, I definitely think that's a thing. However, I think my mind has gone blank. Right, remind me of what you were just saying. That the pressures of society say that men and women. Yeah, right. Let me cycle back. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. These sides exist, and I respect you.
And you are valid.
And you're valid.
And your position is valid.
You're not needed over here. No, that's rude. No, but yeah, I respect it. However, I feel like, for example, for me, I wouldn't say I identify as a side in terms of like, because I know I like fucking, like, period. Literally. But I feel like a lot of the reasons why men won't fuck is not because they're going to have a baby, but they're shook that they're going to shit on a dick.
I mean, that's not always the case.
I feel like that's most of the case.
I mean, I feel like that...
Unless they don't actually just want to fuck you.
There's a whole other conversation we can have about how tops don't bottom and how that is tied into a lot of different things. But like, I don't know if we have the time for all of that. No. But I mean that there could be an element of that, but I don't think that's tied into sides. Because like, I know people that have previously bottomed because they thought that's what they were supposed to do. And then later realized that actually I'm a side, but I didn't know. I didn't have the language. I didn't know. I thought this is what you're supposed to do. I'm a gay man. Or sometimes I feel like that's what I want, but then when it comes to it, that isn't what I want. But you know, but how do you learn these things? Because you don't teach. Sex ed in this country.
Well, we're learning right here on Get the Motherfucking Belt podcast, ho. You ain't gotta go and grind it to find shit out, bitch. Come here, you ain't gotta bust it open and find out all of that shit and be on the preps. I mean, stay on the preps if you fucking rule. But if you a side, then you probably ain't fucking. But still, stay on the preps regardless, because you can catch these diseases any kind of way. But anyway, you don't have to be in the streets telling about this. Get the Belt podcast is here. Yeah. In terms of like compatibility, then that adds now a whole other layer to being not straight, a man into a man, because now I feel like a side could only ever be with a side.
I mean, it depends on what the relationship or sexual dynamic is. Because say for example,
well, I mean, if you're in a relationship, you need to fuck.
You don't need to.
Well, unless you're a side.
No, you can be in a relationship with a side if like there's all things on like open relationships, for example. You don't know the dynamics, like that could work.
Okay.
Potentially.
Okay.
You know? But also, I had a point, but then that just confused me. It just took me out. We were saying something before that just now. Sides.
Compatibility.
Yes, compatibility. So I don't think it necessarily has to be a side and a side because of what I just said, but also I feel like I don't think it's actually as much of an addition to the checklist that we have to go through anyway. Because when you start dating someone, if you're, say for example, in your position, you're talking about being versed, and it's like, how versed are you? Like, are you more top? Are you more bottom? Then how does that play out? Is someone?
I'm very 50-50 personally.
Fair enough. But then, like, some people...
But then I feel like that's where the verse top or the verse bottom will come in.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And
so
the verse
if, say,
top
for,
will go
if,
good
if,
with the verse bottom.
Yeah, but then there's also times where you have two verse tops in a relationship. Or two.
Then how's it going to be?
I don't know. Someone has to bite the bullet every now and then. But, like, that's what I'm saying. My point is that, like, it depends. The dynamic, the dynamic depends on, like, the situation. It depends on the relationship. It depends on how, I don't know, how people are. Because, like, I feel like sometimes in a relationship, you can be more, like, you can tend to bend more. Like, literally, I didn't even mean that. I didn't even mean that literally. I meant it figuratively. But literally, it works too. But that's what I meant. Like, in a relationship that might shift, that might change. So yeah.
Well, I definitely learned something new this week with the side.
Where did
things.
you learn that?
Where did I learn? On the internet, on Instagram, not TikTok or Twitter, but on Instagram. It came up. I said, "What the fuck? What the fuck is a side?" I feel like there's probably another 2 or 3 other.
I feel like that covers all bases. No.
Well, until we
In
find out,
terms of
until we
position-
find out there's something else.
What I feel like
About I don't lick out, I don't masturbate, but I will only suck dick.
Okay.
That's probably gonna have its own.
But that's like kinks. That comes into then kinks, doesn't it?
Well, I would have thought side did, but if it's a
Because
preference
actually, no,
of
in
not
that
actually engaging
in that
in
aspect,
this.
that falls under side because they don't want penetration.
But are you not penetrating their mouth?
No, but it's different. Penetrating the mouth, penetrating the hole are 2 different things.
I mean, it's still a hole.
It's a hole,
Yeah.
but like one is more comfortable than the other.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the size of the dick, honey. Sometimes it'd be more comfortable down there than it'd be in the air.
I mean, it can be like that.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's lesson of LGBTQDL school. That was fun. Oh, okay, right.
Oh no, I know what you're gonna talk about.
Okay, I'm gonna leave. Right, so that's all I got time to talk about in terms of miles measures. Right, let's jump into some questions before we get into get the belts. Right, so I'm only gonna do 2 of these. I'm gonna let you choose. We had 3 come in. You can choose the 2 that we answer.
Oh God. Okay.
You can read out the first one, and then I'll read out the second one you choose.
Oh, that third one's triggering, so I'm not gonna do that one. We did the first 2.
Okay, we'll do the first 2. Okay.
Third one is a personal issue to me.
Okay. Hey, Miles, I'm a huge fan of the podcast and I need your wisdom on a spicy situation. So I've been dating this amazing guy for a while now, but we've hit a bit of a snag. He's really into some, shall we say, adventurous bedroom activities that I'm not too sure about. He's a top and I'm a bottom. I thought they were going to say I'm a side.
You need to leave sides alone.
Huh?
Leave sides alone.
He's a top and I'm a bottom, so it's a perfect fit. But haven't to start. Ooh, it's a perfect fit. But he wants to start putting more than his dick inside me. Oh, I'm not sure how I feel, but I'm a Scorpio like you and a freak. And a freak. I mean, I would do be saying I'm a Scorpio. But this has me skeptical. I want to keep things spicy, but I'm feeling a little out of my comfort zone. How do I navigate this without dampening the mood or making him feel rejected? Cheers, bedroom dilemma devotee.
Okay, this is a tough one.
Is it?
I mean, I sometimes have issues with delivery, so I want to make sure it comes out right. That's all. I feel like this top is not going to change. So
I wish I knew how long they'd been together.
Yeah, that's probably important. But
I've been dating this amazing guy for a while now, so he's not even your man.
That's a valid point. That's a very valid point. But this is what he's into. He's into this sort of stuff, and that's not gonna go anywhere.
No, it won't.
I would say, like, would you not try? I mean, if you try.
My hole just went like that when you said this.
I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone that wants to be putting, I don't know what, inside you, and they're really into that, they're really eager to do it, they really want to do it, like, would you not at least try? It
depends how big or sharp the object
is. That's also, I feel like they need to
and
write
the temperature as well. There's a lot to say.
I feel like we need to ask a few questions back.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, because it's situation by situation basis. But I don't know. I think it's a bit of a difficult one because I don't feel like this is going to change. And I'm curious about their sexual dynamic in other aspects. Like, is the sex good other than this thing he keeps trying to push? Or is it like, you can't do this thing and I'm frustrated and now you feel this pressure?
Yeah.
And I feel like no matter what the situation, no one should be making you feel any sort of pressure or any type of way or uncomfortable about any type of sex that you don't want to have.
Yeah.
You should be able to communicate that you don't want to have any kind of sex with this person that goes against what you want for yourself. But so it's a bit of a, I don't know, I'm half want to say, try it or see how it goes. You might like it, you never know. But I also want to say, if you know that that's not something you absolutely do not want, and you're even writing into this because you know that's absolutely not what you want, then you have to communicate that. And you have to be honest about it. You just have to communicate your needs because you're prioritizing his needs over your own.
I mean, I feel like you answered that perfectly. I definitely wouldn't go stretching myself, no pun intended, to like please this person that isn't even my boyfriend. Like if it's just someone that I'm
wait, so if he's your man, then we're gonna think about
then I may be then I'll be way more likely to think, okay, let me see the things that you want to put inside and we will
also my other advice is start small.
But like if it was someone that I was just dating and I really liked them, I'd let them know from the jump, I'm not into this. But you know what? Seeing you, the kind of lover I am, seeing you get turned on gets my dick solid. So, like, let's start small.
Yeah. Like
very small.
Like a dick and a pinky finger.
Yeah. Or, like, I don't know, like a little dildo or, like, just small. I wouldn't completely shut them off because at the same time, I get reciprocity and I understand that. And I would like to see that. I'm not going to have anyone crossing their boundaries. I'm not going to cross mine, but I will be experimental with respect and boundaries. So, because there could be things that I like personally that they might not be into. And it might not be as deep. It might not be as deep as like putting like foreign objects into me. It could be, I don't know, like a certain position. Or for example, one thing I know I don't like is spit. Like I don't like spitting in my face, spitting in my mouth. That I'm not for that. And I've been in situations before where other people have had to stop doing that because I'm not into it. So in turn, I can now be like, well, you can't do any of these things if you've like, you know, changed some things that might be that you're into for me. Then I feel like you can't be a selfish lover unless that's what you're trying to be. You don't give a fuck about him. But it sounds like you like this man. But I would communicate that you're not into it.
I think you also made a good point about like reciprocation because what are you getting out of this? Because from what I read, it's he wants this from me. I don't want to let him down. Like, you know, it's you need to prioritize yourself and what your needs are and what your wants are. Exactly. Because it's your hole that may not recover from whatever's gonna go in there.
If you see it actually going far with this man and you really enjoy him getting pleasure, I would say have a conversation and discuss it. But if you already know that you're just not into it and it's gonna make your dick go soft and it's just gonna kill the vibe, then why put either of you in that position and just say, look, this isn't what I'm into. Do it with some other person, not me, and leave it at that.
Fair.
Second one. What's up, Miles? I've been dealing with some. Oh no, you said no. I read that first one. It's your turn to read.
Okay. What's up, Miles? I've been dealing with some serious racial tension in my workplace lately.
Oh,
not the O.
That's where we're going.
It's like walking on eggshells every day, and I'm tired of feeling like I can't be myself. I want to address the issue head on, but I'm worried about stirring the pot even more. How can I confront racism in the workplace without risking my job or making things worse? So that question, the actual question, I'm already... Can I go for it?
Yeah, you go.
You can't. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm not gonna just leave it there, but you can't confront racism in the workplace without risking your job or making things worse.
Yeah.
If you mention racism in a primarily white establishment, your work life is going to suffer, whether like it be immediately or after a period of time. But the thing is, you're not going to be able to improve an environment like that. And I know there's this whole thing of like, you know, starting at the bottom and then going up. I feel like issues like this, if we're thinking about like systemically, we're thinking about the British government, we're thinking about Britain overall, we're thinking about the NHS, it's these people right at the very top that you need to deal with that have this like basically the power and the influence to actually make a difference. And I feel like if you say things, you are going to suffer. I feel like I would suggest if you are facing racial tension in a workplace, you need a new job. Like, I'm sorry about the benefit. Like, if you have benefits, if it pays a lot, whatever the thing is, like, there's no job that is worth your mental health.
Yeah.
Going into work and having white people like get to you every single day. Like this, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, facts.
It's my opinion.
I completely agree. I say over and over again, whatever's meant for you is like it will never pass you by. So if you're in a position where, you know, you're having to deal with bullshit at work, I would say something. I've been in that position. I would speak up. If you're not meant to be in that job, you might get fired. You know what? It's wrong. You could potentially sue them. And this has happened where people have been sued for bringing up racial things and then they get more money back for doing that. But yeah, if you're not meant to be somewhere, you're going to find yourself taken out of that place or that environment regardless. So I would rather be taken out of a situation I'm not meant to be in, having fought the right fight, as opposed to being the victim and going home every day feeling like shit, knowing that I could have said something but I didn't. Yeah, you are going to stir the pot. Yeah, the pot. Sorry, there are going to be people that maybe even other black co-workers that are like, oh no, don't, like, it's all cool here, like let's keep it down. But that might be their spirit, but you clearly have got it on your spirit to be writing into the show. So I think that you should say something. I definitely think you should expect the worst but hope for the best, and know that racism is wrong. Keeping quiet about it is also wrong, whether it's witnesses to it, the person on the other end to it. And I understand that, you know, times are hard and potentially you could lose a job, but again, it's about faith. If you feel like this is gonna like ruin your life if you get fired and you can't afford to pay for things and stuff like that, then that's a serious
because the thing is, the reason why I'm saying to avoid it is because I'm not sure I believe you're able to change anything. Like, I had a friend that has been working at a particular organization and it's not racial tension. It's not racial tension, but they're a white person and they keep saying that they're trying to bring more people of color into the organization and it's not happening. So if he's been trying to do that for, like, let's say, I would say over a year now, and nothing is going anywhere.
Then war is happening.
Then, like, and that's in a situation in which this person is not facing any kind of racism. So if you're a person of color and you're saying you've used the term, where is it? Serious racial tension, like, that affects your psyche. Waking up and then being anxious about going into the office, dealing with this every day. And if you're working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, you're stressing out about going to work. Like,
I'd have to say something.
Yeah.
I would. Mate,
in this economy.
I've said things in places where I was working 1 day or 2 days a week. If I'm in that motherfucker 5 days, bitch, I'm saying something. We're calling HR. I'm getting my witness. I'm having my therapist turn up too.
The thing is, it's just because it's like, it's serious racial tension, walking on eggshells every day, tired of feeling like I can't be myself.
Yeah, not me.
And then being worried about stirring the pot. If you're worried about stirring the pot when it comes to just
You're
acknowledging racism, you're definitely
They've already stirred the pot and got it on bubble, babes.
Yeah.
That's the gag. The pot is fully stirred. At
Exactly.
this point, the pot is fully stirred. You just need to decide whether you want to leave that pot to rest and boil over, because that's what will happen, or whether you decide to dish it up. And I'd be dishing it up and feeding it to them motherfuckers.
You need to leave. I'm so sorry, but you like, there's no.
All that.
Yeah, you need to leave. You need to be somewhere in which you're appreciated for who you are, where you're respected for who you are, where you're celebrated for who you are, not where you feel uncomfortable because of, like, the color of your skin. Like, that's ridiculous. And
if you love the job and what it entails, like, if it's like, you know, the dream job, I would say something. See if there can be any kind of changes. And then if not, if it's just like, you know, a job while you're trying to do something else or like in between, then yeah, maybe it's not worth the time to say something. But I just know me, if I get an opportunity to school someone, more often than not, if I feel like it will really help other people, then I will. Like, I've had to speak up before when I knew I was going to leave a certain job, but I just felt like certain things were mad, but I care about what happens after I've said something. So I might say something then, but it's down to you. Yeah, don't be worried about stirring the pot. Like I said, the pot stirred. I would say something. If it doesn't work out, leave. Go, like Phil said, go where you're appreciated. Yeah.
Nice.
And that's that on that with questions, because we've been in here like an hour and a half already. Let's get straight into. I wanted to speak about that, but I think I'll speak about it next week. So I did want to speak about something that's been in the news this week in regarding blackout nights in the theatre. But I think I'm gonna save that for next week because this episode will be so long. But if you do have any questions or opinions on that, please send them in to contact@getthebeltpod.com and I can read out some of those as well. And if you've got any other questions like these, please feel free to send them in also. Or you can send a DM to our socials at getthebeltpod on Instagram and we can just play that motherfucker because sometimes my reading is off, which is why I think I've got one of these spectrum things.
We need to get tested.
Where's my reading giving spectrum?
Small.
Shit. But yeah, thanks so far. And while we're here, I just want to say, make sure you follow Phil on his socials. They'll be down here on the screen somewhere.
Oh, can we do like, you know, where like on YouTube, when we're like, you're going to put a little edit.
Yeah. Should we do it together?
Where is it? Is it here?
We'll do it in the middle like this. Follow Phil on his socials here. Yes.
I've always wanted to do that. Like, I'm so happy right now.
And yeah, see the great work that he's doing. But yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast on all the socials and that. And if you're watching this, make sure you click subscribe on YouTube so you can watch more videos when they come out, more episodes. So it is now time for Get the Belt. Who wants to go first?
I want to go first. I am giving the belt to Rishi Sunak. The other week, I mean, there's the 10 billion reasons why he should. 30 billion, really. There's a million reasons why he should have it, but sometimes the Conservatives outdo themselves.
What do you mean?
Like, they say something, you're like, that is inhumane. Like, that's wild. Like, the one of the most reasons, I avoid the news because I'm very sensitive. Like, I'm very sensitive and I'm very empathetic. So I get really upset about things. So I try to not watch the news because everything is really depressing. But I saw that Rishi Sunak is trying to get a law pushed through so that police can arrest homeless people if they smell. Like, I was like, that cannot.
I feel like this is the first time in Get the Belt history where I'm laughing at a belt. Because normally I'm like, fuck, but...
Yeah, but I just feel like that's just despicable. Like, I mean, there's honestly a million reasons in the world why he should get the belt, but learning that information, I was just like, I cannot believe this is the country I live in. This is the country I was born and raised in. Like, this is
arrested.
I feel like the Conservatives' new issue after migrants, which has been a thing for a while now, is homeless people. And remember there was that whole thing
Swella started that about lifestyle choice.
Oh my God, lifestyle choice.
Bitch.
Yeah, but then they wanted to get rid of any tents that they live in. But again, this is homelessness in this country is a systemic issue. When gas companies are getting billions, and like increasing their money, like their profits year on year, and like people can't afford to heat their homes or feed their children. That is because of this system. This system is not working. So yeah, Rishi gets a belt from me.
Not because they fucking smell. Like, at least
For no not like no disruption, no like I don't think there was anything in that. It was just for smelling.
I am not saying that I agree with.
Okay, be careful.
I'm not saying I agree with Rishi doing this. I'm also not saying that I agree or like the fact that we have this homeless issue, or that I enjoy the smell of homeless people. I want to, off the back of your belt, advise or question, instead of paying more money to not only arrest homeless people, for the most part, who aren't causing any like danger other than to maybe at someone's nostril, which is is going to be like nothing in comparison to someone that might murder, trigger warning, like murder or rape someone. Like, surely instead of paying more money to have them policed like that and then incarcerated, which also costs more money, why not just probably half that money that you're spending and buy deodorant or buy, I don't know, hire a space where they can go and clean themselves, as opposed to investing all this money to not only inflict more trauma on these people, but also deter the police from doing, like, fighting the crime that they should be. Like, why is smelling now a crime? Even though I don't like smelly people, like I hate it, and I'm glad in a weird way that something's been done, but this is too much.
Yeah, so I don't think it's got anything to do with the actual smell of the assault on your nose. I think the thing is, I think the Conservatives have moved from migrancy into homelessness. So they're seeing homelessness as Britain's new issue. Do you know what I mean? So
it's been an issue for them.
It's been an issue for a long time.
Since Robin Hood, bro.
Yeah, but instead of addressing the issue directly, systemically,
they're addressing the people
they're
that
now
are
blaming
suffering
those
because
people.
of this systemic issue.
It's that, but then it's also who votes for Conservatives. So older, typically rich, typically white people that vote for Conservatives are not going to want homelessness in Britain. Yeah. So they're not going to want homeless people living in the streets because that's not their country and da-da-da-da. So that's why. It's not about the homelessness itself. It's about this
idea, this false idea of Britain.
Yeah, but it's also, that's how Conservatives stay in power. That's how they get votes. So that's it. I think that's what makes it even more disgusting, because it's like you don't even believe in what you're saying. You're just saying it so that people believe in what you're saying. Yeah.
Wow. Chesu. My belt this week. Okay, so for context, earlier on this week, Ghana's parliament passed through a bill that imposed a prison sentence for up to 3 years, and in some cases up to 10 years, for anyone convicted of identifying as LGBTQ+, being an ally of LGBTQ+ people, funding or promoting any LGBTQ+ content or schemes, be it on Instagram, or anything of that nature. It also imposes a maximum 5-year jail term for, like I said before, forming or funding LGBTQ+ groups. Gay sex is already against the law in Ghana. That carries a 3-year prison sentence. And this bill proposes a jail term of up to 10 years for anyone involved in LGBTQ+ advocacy campaigns aimed at children. Activists currently in Ghana are scared for their lives and fearful of witch hunts against the members of LGBTQ+ community and allies, and for those people that are campaigning for their rights. And some people have said they've had to go into hiding. I'm saying all of this because I need to really stress that this is something that is not only affecting the LGBTQ+ community, but is also affecting allies, which in turn is affecting everyone except for homophobic people. I've said this a few times, but you may have seen me say it in my speech when I got my LGBTQIA+ champion award, that homophobia is actually not inherently of us and our culture and black values. It's not. It's something that has very much come from the Western world. The same Western world that a lot of these countries... tomorrow, Ghana is celebrating its independence. When this episode comes out today, Ghana is celebrating its independence from the people whose laws they are trying to enforce. Make it make sense.
See, I find that super interesting because you're Nigerian, right?
I'm Nigerian, yeah.
So I'm from Sierra Leone. We're all in West Africa. Ghana's in West Africa, and I find it interesting that in Sierra Leone there's a law which basically it prevents you from. I think basically there's a law that was taken from England during colonialism to Sierra Leone that is still there today, and in this law it's like essentially you can't be gay or you can be imprisoned for being gay or I guess like essentially having sex with a man. And as a British Sierra Leonean born in Britain that hails from Sierra Leone, I find it wild that I can be who I want and be free in this country.
Yeah.
But I can't be who I am in the country that I'm
You're descending from, yeah.
because of the country that I was raised in. That's always been like a bit of a head fuck to me. And it's just wild that like what pisses me off is when white gay men are like, oh my God, it's so backward in Africa. And it's like,
you made it that way.
Your people did this.
Yeah. So with that being, off the bat of that, I'm going to put in the description for this episode details of how you can get more information on this and how you can help. There is a march that's happening today. Well, when this comes out, it'll be today in London. Obviously, you won't be able to get there, but yeah, there's a march happening. My belt not only goes to the people enforcing these laws, because like I said, it does affect absolutely everyone. It's not a crime to be. It shouldn't be a crime to be who you are. No one's being harmed. No one's hurting anyone. Like, it really doesn't involve anyone else than the two people that are in the bedroom, but whatever. My belt really and truly goes to the influencers, the celebrities, and some of your homeboys and homegirls and home people thems that go to Ghana and have been to Ghana, especially over the last few years with this whole Return to the Motherland campaign, which I'm here for. But with this law being imposed, I need all of these people that have been going there to film their content, to go and party and turn up, to show vim and show energy and show compassion and show like a moral backbone for what is actually happening in that country. You going there and, you know, bringing attention, bringing money to that, to Ghana while this is happening is a big slap in the face to any LGBTQ person that already lives there. Because you're basically going there and saying, yeah, this is okay. Like, I'm okay to come here and give money to what's going on, to help pay the people enforcing these laws because, oh yeah, I can get some cute Instagram pics or whatnot. I can get paid to shoot this beauty ad or be an Afrochella or whatever the fuck. Like, no. All of you, man, that have been going to Ghana really need to speak up on your platforms, especially those of you that have got platforms, and let people know that, you know what, even though I was there a few weeks ago or I'm meant to be going, I'm not going to go because this is wrong. I'd hate to see people like turning a blind eye all the time just because it's cute. Bruv, do you know how many times I could have gone to Dubai? I could have gone to Dubai so many times. I'm not going because it's illegal for me to exist how I want to exist. And me with the chest that I have and with how I can't tone it down after a couple tequila shots, I'll be killed in Dubai, babes. I'll be killed. And it's not even a laughing matter. But yeah, you guys that are going to that plan to go to Ghana and get ready with me and all of this shit, think again and do something better. Switch on your moral compass. Because what is worse is a lot of you guys are gay yourselves, or bi, or fluid, or your bestie is gay. And it just blows my mind that you can then go to these places and not have ever even said anything about it, and not even once been like, yeah, this is wrong, but I'm going. Like, they act like it's not on everyone's timeline. They act like it's not in the news, and then they go there and like just turn such a big blind eye to it, but then later come back to the UK and then during Pride Month are waving their flag and getting the next bit of content. What the fuck? Like, Are you dumb? When people are literally being criminalized, sentenced to jail for just being a man being in love with a man or a woman with a woman, like not even doing the sex. Well, doing the sex is illegal, but now identifying, like you ain't even got to do shit. You just got to say, "Oh, I feel like I'm not straight." Boom, you could go to prison for 3 years. So yeah, my belt goes to the people that are trying to enforce these laws, but it goes a future belt to those of you that won't say anything, but will continue to go to these places and glamorize it whilst not speaking up on what you know is definitely happening there and how badly that affects so many people. Like I said, the LGBTQ plus community, as well as allies. So yeah, all of that shit is backwards. And yeah, you people get the belt as well as the motherfucking people trying to enforce that rule over there in Ghana. But yeah, like I said, I'll put details in the episode in the description link of where you can go to find out more information on how you can help. But yeah, that is my belt this week.
Say how you really feel.
I did. I did. No, because it really irks my soul when I see the girls going to these places knowing full well that these men are getting their dicks up by another man. Mm-hmm. Very, very overtly gay in so many different ways. Or these girls that I know they're bisexual or they have like their gay best friend does their hair, makeup artist, whatever, and they'll go to these places and just ignore the fact that people are being criminalized and are fearing for their lives. But they go there and post up like cute, like what the fuck? Like, what world do we really live in where you can just push that to the side and collect a check or even just go on holiday to look cute and say, oh yeah, I'm at the motherland. Yeah, but the motherland is fucking up right now and you need to speak up on it. Like you want to be like, oh yeah, black power, like especially the blacks want to be like in Black History Month, oh yeah, I'm proud, Ghanaian pride, this, pride, that. But when your country is now doing idiocracy, especially when it's not their own, it's from this country, you don't have shit to say, but you'll get on the flight and post up and do cute. No, I think it's I think it's icky vibes. I think it's disgusting. And the more of us that just continue to allow this to happen without using your platform, which when you have a platform, it comes with a responsibility. You need to be speaking up about these things. So the more we ignore it, it's just going to get worse and worse. And then your fucking black gay ass won't be able to go to Ghana because it will be so bad because you guys have been just ignoring it and allowing it to happen and promoting going to that country that now, if you were to get on the plane there, you probably get shot on the other side because you remain quiet all this time. Too busy getting ready with me in Dubai and Ghana now. The fuck? No. Speak up because it's wrong. Yeah. Not my watch.
Nope. You said it very well.
Yeah. Well, we've come to the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm. The transition. So we've come to the end of the episode.
It was fun though. We definitely went over nearly 2 hours. Oh well, you guys will enjoy this.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you again so much for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on. It's been a long time coming. Like, you've been knowing about this podcast for years.
Yes, it's been a long time.
Only now you just jumped on. We'll definitely have you back on again.
I would love to. This was fun.
We can get into, especially at the your work in sexual health and stuff.
Oh, you just reminded me. I do want to say one thing.
Come on.
This is my takeaway. So, congratulations if you've listened to all of this. But I just want to talk to your listeners about DoxyPep. Have you heard of DoxyPep?
I have. DoxyPep is once you've...
No.
Before you've...
Yes.
DoxyPep is, okay, before you engage in... Is it before you...
After.
I said after and you said no, and I said before.
Wait, no, you said before and then you said after. Wait, actually, no, you're right. Sorry, I was thinking differently.
Yeah, it's after you've taken it, after you've had sex, and you think you may have caught something or been exposed to something, and then you take it, and it like washes away your sins.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't use
Is that the word of the God, but in pill form for STIs?
DoxyPep is taking two tablets of 100 mg of doxycycline, and basically it can stop you from getting syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia.
I've read this.
Yes. So you can just buy it online generally, and just take two basically after you have sex, but also always take it with food. And also on our website.
How many times do you have to take it?
You can take it, I think it's up to like, I think 3 times in a week, I believe.
Oh, is there a max?
There is a max. I don't know what.
Also, you can't be in the streets.
You can be in the streets.
But on PrEP, you can take that motherfucker every day.
I mean, that's where we're actually in the process of trying to like get the recommendations out. So I don't know if I should be saying this. But basically, we're in the process of trying to get the guidelines out about how to take DoxyPep or where to take DoxyPep and all the things. But essentially, if you take 2 doxycycline, you cannot get HIV. You cannot get those STIs. And
that was
syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. And if you go to queerhealth.info/doxypep, that's DOXYPEP, there's a range of information that we have on my one of my organization's websites.
And is that available just online, or can you go? Because for the people that live in London, I used to go to Dean Street Clinic. Dean Street Clinic used to save my bussy hole, baby. Dean Street, it got to the point where I knew motherfuckers that were there would DM them like, bitch, I need me an appointment. No, but for real, they're a charity, but they were so good, so efficient. Can you get it there yet or no?
No. So
you can get PrEP from them.
You can get PrEP, but actually,
and they gave me the monkeypox.
But you know how long it took us to get PrEP on NHS?
I mean,
it was approved in America in 2012, and we didn't get till 2020 officially, like outside of the trial. But yeah, basically we're in the process. It's not like a thing, but we're trying to raise awareness of it so that more people know about it, so that we actually eventually have it on the NHS. Because essentially, we could be leaving the clinic with 6 months of PrEP and 6 months of Doxy.
Lit.
Yeah.
I'm in a monogamous relationship now, and I've not been tested since before. But I don't take PrEP or anything like that anymore, which I'm glad. I don't really like taking tablets unless I really need to. But I used to speak a lot about PrEP and stuff like that on the show, but because I've not been in that world for so long, it's nice to have you on here that we can, I
just realized we didn't say what PrEP is.
PrEP.
So yeah, wait. So if you don't know what PrEP is a drug that you take before and after sex that stops you from getting HIV.
And you can either do it event based
or daily,
because you never know when the Lord is gonna bless you. So I would just rather be. When I was on it, I would much rather be. Ready, so I didn't have to get ready.
I always feel like it depends on how you are with your sex life, because some people are super organized and are like, next week Thursday I'm gonna have sex, and some people are a bit more sporadic. So I take it daily.
It's very much Shakira, wherever, very that with me. I'm going back to like our conversation. We're meant to be wrapping up, and here we're getting into it again. When we were talking about like the penetration and not always like penetrating, a lot of that would come down to like, in my experiences, the bottom want to be like, oh well, I ate curry, or oh I've eaten at all today, so I can. Whereas me, I can really go swallow ogbono soup and within an hour be like, yo,
okay,
like hit it.
That's right.
Yeah, and cleaning is a whistle. I would just, be good to go. Be good to go.
Wait, what is your point? What is the point you're making with this?
The point I'm making. There was a
I don't
point.
know what to say to this.
Right, Phil. Listen. The point is.
Yes.
The point is that the sides were saying that they don't always need the sex yet, and that men, when they are, let me find it, because there was definitely.
You see, I was just like, I don't know where we're going with it.
No, wait. Almost. It's been such a long day, but there was definitely a point. What was we talking about? Being ready.
Yeah.
Being ready.
You were talking about how like you only need an hour, and then.
Yeah, but that was definitely going into something. Or maybe it was just on my spirit to remind you hoes that, like, listen, it's not every day because I've eaten that I've got to wait for the nyash. Yeah?
I don't think it's that though. I think it's like food or no food.
That's it, because you said people have got to be really, really organized.
Yeah.
And I was just saying that I didn't have to like not eat.
Okay. See
Yeah.
the correlation.
Now
okay.
we've cycled back and I've got it. I feel like all of that organization, it takes the fun out.
But
Which is why I would rather take the prep every day.
Just in case.
So when the Lord is ready to bless me, I'm ready to receive
his blessings.
the blessings. Yes.
I can't wait to watch this. This is crazy.
Now we need to really get the fuck out of here because this studio is for honey.
Yes.
But thank you
Thank
so
you for
much for
having
coming
me.
on, Phil. Honestly, it was such a pleasure.
This was amazing. This was fun.
You said what you wanted to say before you left. I'm trying to think of is there anything else?
No, that was my main thing for today.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for tuning in this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, you can send any questions to contact@getthebeltpod.com. If you want to give Melanin Magnificence to someone, give them their flowers because this world is out here taking our flowers away. So give someone black or brown their flowers, shout them out on the show. And if you want to give someone the belt and cuss out someone or just something, it ain't got to be too deep or it could be anything, just write into the show and we will share that with you guys. That is it. Well, thank you so much for listening or watching. Because I forgot to say that last week. I was just like, thanks for listening. And I watched it back. I thought, oh, shit, we got visuals now. But thank you for listening or for watching. Thank you once again to Phil for coming on and blessing us with your energy. And yeah, you've been listening or watching.
It's because you've been listening.
Years. You've been listening.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching and or listening to the podcast that is home of Melanin Magnificence and Kingdom of Belts. You have been watching or listening to Get the Belt.